Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unlocking what's honestly the ultimate life cheat code. It's this wild framework for completely transforming yourself. And the secret? Stepping entirely out of the spotlight. We're talking about using intentional isolation to just absolutely level up your life. I am so pumped to get into this with you because it goes against literally everything modern society tells us to do. But honestly, that's exactly why it holds the key to just unparalleled personal growth. Let's get right into it.
So I want to kick things off by asking you directly, what actually happens when you completely disappear? Just imagine it for a second, right? Stepping away from all that overwhelming, constant noise of modern society. No status updates, no casual check-ins, no broadcasting your every single move to a feed. Just you, completely off the radar, working in total secret. It sounds intense, right? Maybe even a little intimidating. But as we're going to see, it is deeply, incredibly strategic. See, there's this stark sociological reality that we just have to face. The more you open your life up for public display, the more people will find a way to drag you down. It's just human nature. But on the flip side, working in the shadows, becoming completely unavailable and committing to a secret transformation, that massively accelerates your progress. It's like putting blinders on a racehorse. Now, initially, it's super exhilarating to imagine how your eventual reappearance is going to shock the world, right? But to get to that point, we first have to learn how to disappear the right way. Which brings us to phase 1, the descent, severing ties. All right, this is where we step into the underworld. And listen, you cannot half-step this process. It requires absolute, ironclad discipline. So here are your core restrictions. Shut your mouth. Stop caring what others think. Hide your plans, hide your progress, and hide your tears. Seriously, your mouth is going to betray you way more than you realize. We're literally coded for survival to spill information to the tribe, right? So you have to actively fight that instinct. Catch your thoughts before they leave your mouth, delete the apps if you have to, and just become a total mystery to your friends, family, and coworkers. But what happens when you absolutely need help? Like when you actually need outside expertise? Well, you use something called surgical intent. You stop being careless. You find the exact right person. You reveal only the bare minimum to get their advice, you grab that knowledge, and boom, you immediately disappear again. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it emphasizes that precision. Focused intent is your absolute best friend here. And I need to give you a pretty dramatic warning about why silence is so crucial. 5%. Think about that number. A really helpful way to visualize this is to imagine that every single time a detail of your plan leaks out, it reduces your chance of success by that exact margin. 5% gone. Every time you speak openly, sure, you're satisfying other people's curiosity, but you are severely hurting yourself. You gotta keep your plans held so close to your chest, like they're the launch codes to your future. So, the big takeaway here, keep your progress boxed in. As you grind away in the shadows, progress is absolutely gonna come. But you must not let anyone see it. No showing off the new physique or the growing bank account or the new skills. If you cave to your old ego and start flexing mid-transformation, you're going to destroy all your momentum. You'll literally send yourself right back to square one. Flex your willpower instead, Recycle all that energy right back into the work. Moving right into phase 2, the crucible, surviving the shadows. Let me be real with you. Going into ghost mode is not a walk in the park. You're going to be physically hurt, mentally fatigued, and you're going to face massive friction. You're going to hit filter after filter standing between you and the progress you want. And when you hit those walls, your natural human instinct is going to be to complain to a friend or, seek comfort from your family. But to survive the crucible, you have to sternly tell yourself to keep your metaphorical pie hole shut. You simply cannot seek external validation when things get tough. There is a really gritty necessity to this journey, and it's captured perfectly in this mantra, scream into the wind, but do it yourself. You are going to bleed, sweat, and cry, but you have to let those tears flow all by your lonesome. You have to patch up your own wounds with a first aid kit in total secrecy, because doing it yourself, alone in the shadows, that is exactly what builds unbreakable character. You literally have to let each moment of rock bottom be the exact trigger that catapults you to a new level of performance. It is strictly within these solitary moments of intense pain that a completely new, absolute beast mode version of you emerges. So don't run from the pain. Embrace it. Look forward to it even, because it's the ultimate proof that the transformation is actually working. All right, time for phase 3, the alchemy, architecting your transformation. So now that we know how to disappear and actually survive the dark, we enter the active, tactical phase of leveling up. This is where the real building happens, and here is the exact formula. First, pick specific targets. What exactly do you want to build? A money-printing business? An unrecognizable physique? Write it down clearly where you can see it, but where absolutely no one else can. Second, revolve every waking hour around crushing those targets. And third, you have to reprogram your mind to actually enjoy this isolated process.
Okay, let's dive into this idea of obsession. You must treat this as your one single chance in life. Every breath, every single action has to be intentional. Intentionally time box your day so you're dedicating hours solely to this transformation. Change your environment if you have to. Move to an apartment closer to the gym or join the exact class that teaches the skill you need. Break large goals down into smaller, bite-sized pieces and dedicate specific days just to tracking your progress. Whatever it takes, you do it. To maintain that level of obsession, you really need a mental cheat code. Think about it. Most people live their lives like puppets, right? Completely driven by the strings of what other people think about them. You have to cut those strings. You have to kill that side of you. Instead, create a persona in your mind, like an idealized version of you, and obsess only over what that person thinks. Would that highest version of you be proud of your actions today? You basically cheat the system by making you the only other person whose opinion even matters.
Which brings us to the final stage, Phase 4, the refusal of the return, the reappearance twist.
Think back to when you first started this journey. The initial excitement probably came from the fantasy of eventually reappearing to shock the world, right? You wanted to see the look on everyone's faces when they saw the brand new you. But here is the ultimate twist of this entire psychological process. If you actually do this right, you won't want to come back.
And this brilliantly illustrates why. Because you completely reprogrammed your mind along the way, you have now become one with the shadow. You found this calming peace in the dark that society simply cannot offer. Instead of wanting to show off, you realize that true happiness is actually the act of continually crushing it in secret. You are just going to keep pushing towards bigger, better goals, perfectly content to remain a total mystery to the rest of the world.
It's a profound shift, guys. Going from constantly seeking external validation to finding absolute internal mastery. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Knowing the peace, the power, and the massive transformation that awaits you in the shadows, are you ready to disappear?